Hello everyone. I was gonna make this video anyway, talking about Rumble versus YouTube, because of the nature of what's been going on, where people are leaving or at least switching more over to Rumble because of YouTube's censorious and demonetizing behavior. But doing my own searches through my own channel and both Rumble and YouTube to compare the two, I wanted to do this as an unbiased opinion, as something that didn't have any kind of bias or self or just absolute loathing toward YouTube. But looking through my files, looking through both my YouTube Studio content creator and my Rumble content, which is mirrored from the YouTube, so the exact same videos, I have found that I can do very little but to almost feel contempt for YouTube at this point. So, for those of you not familiar, Rumble is a YouTube competitor which is monetized. It's a lot smaller compared to the 2.5 billion active users on YouTube, as reported in the last statistics provided, with over 800 million videos on it. Rumble was originally started as an alternative by those who had been kicked off YouTube, either for quote-unquote having conspiracy theories or for having more conservative views. Modern-day Rumble is a far cry from that, as more and more centrist and even perhaps left-leaning content creators are moving to Rumble due to the fact that they're feeling more free and capable of being able to create their own videos there. Now, a logical person might ask, why should I switch to Rumble? Well, let me show you a little bit of an anecdote from my own channel and part of my own little loathing if I've done this. I'm going to show you some screenshots of various video game Let's Plays that I've done from both YouTube and Rumble. The first few you're seeing here are not very much different. There's a few more likes, maybe a few more dislikes, nothing too terrible. But then it gets worse. Videos that are doing absolutely terrible on YouTube, on Rumble, are doing amazingly well. From videos that have 8 views and 0 likes on YouTube now having 35 likes, 40 likes, 60, 25, 22. Videos that, according to YouTube, are doing abysmally are doing very well on another platform. Keep in mind, I don't do edgy content. I don't do political speaking. This is just video games. Content that technically should do well on YouTube. And the games that I'm showing here are not bizarre, out of left field games. It's Need for Speed. It's Outer World. These are AAA games that everyone knows exists. This is a pretty good reason why people would switch to Rumble over YouTube. It doesn't help at all if YouTube has 2.5 billion users per month, according to statistics, where at least a quarter of the population of the world use YouTube at least once a month. If the content creators don't get access to them, how is it possible for me as a content creator to do my job of entertaining a population or entertaining an online community if I can't even reach my online community? Even worse, how is it possible for me as a small-time creator to actually grow my platform if I can't even reach the audience? And it gets worse than this. YouTube also has a habit of being highly discriminatory based on what kind of content, despite their best efforts to decry that they don't. For example, I'm going to show you some screenshots of some videos that did very well on my content, on my YouTube channel. All of these are reaction videos from Lost Tapes, Ghost Reactions, and it's strange that it goes through the years. If anything, according to YouTube, because these videos are reaction videos that are not the norm on my channel, I do primarily gaming, then it should cause issues for me to be discovered, yet the reaction videos, despite being the aberration, are the ones that do the best. Even an unboxing video for the very computer I'm using to edit and put this together 4 years ago does pretty well. But yet, in these following gaming screenshots, it's not the case. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we're seeing even videos that somehow 3 to 4 years ago have 0 views. Now, I'm no scientist, I'm not a great mathematician, but 2.5 billion active users per month, minimum, using YouTube once. Now, we know for a fact people use YouTube a lot more than that. Mathematically, statistically, there should be no video on this platform to have 0 views, let alone a video that has been on the platform for 4 to 5 years. Now, not only does this denote that YouTube has a problem where it doesn't suggest small content creators, which I can barely even say considering how well the reaction videos did. If the rest of my videos did as well as my reaction videos, I probably have a much larger channel by now. But it shows something a bit more nefarious about YouTube. It shows that YouTube has decided that they, not you, not I, not our community, not the audience, that they are going to decide who grows on this platform and who doesn't. Because for there to have any video on this platform to have 0 views, especially after 4 years, almost 5 years, you would have to artificially restrict and control what videos are seen on the platform. That means that YouTube would have to purposely have an algorithm in place that restricts all content creation, period. YouTube has essentially elected to decide that they are going to tell us who our favorite content creators are. You and I don't get to decide that anymore. They do. And I don't know, maybe they think it's for their reputation.
You serious?
Granted, that's questionable at best. I do have gaming videos on this platform that have over 1,000 views, but those are all videos that I had to pay to promote. I paid people on Fiverr, companies on Fiverr, to promote those videos. Left alone, YouTube would have just left them there. Hell, most of them would probably be more 0 count view videos. So, I don't know. As far as their reputation goes, with the constant anti-content creator behavior, with the constant creators that they do back up, constantly being in nothing but drama or problems, you can't really see that being the case. So then the question becomes, why are they so intent on controlling content? And the only thing I can think of is maybe they're trying to back their corporate buddies.
Of course!
The problem is, a lot of their corporate buddies should also technically be competitors. Studio companies that YouTube is trying to protect should literally be competitors because they run on the same business model. Studios use advertisers and ad placements to help fund movies. That's why in such movies like Men in Black you had advertisements for Burger King, among other things. Like, this is the exact same business model. So in effect, YouTube shouldn't really be trying to help these people. They should be laughing in their faces. Because yes, even though the companies can certainly pay them in the short term a lot of money to try and quiet things down and try to protect themselves, in the long run, if YouTube continues to back them, it's just going to turn into Netflix all over again. And Netflix in the last decade or so, because it did exactly that, has not been doing too hot. Especially recently with the debacle of their whole thing of you gotta pay us more money to log into your account from a different IP address. Which one YouTube user actually pointed out really doesn't do well for military personnel who have to move a lot thanks to deployment orders. Something kind of beyond their ability or their capacity to change. YouTube needs independent content creators. It needs us to make unique content that is exclusive to YouTube. Kind of like how Netflix needed to be able to make its own content to make itself unique compared to all of the studio content that it used to have. Once studios decided that they didn't need Netflix anymore, they just put all their stuff on their own streaming sites. Meaning that the only thing that really brought anyone to Netflix was what Netflix had to offer. And in the same vein, that's going to happen to YouTube. YouTube is thinking that the corporate studios are going to bring people to the platform. In reality, what they're going to get is essentially the same thing that happened to Netflix. Like I said already. Sorry if I'm being a broken record here. But these studios don't need YouTube. They have their own platforms to go put their stuff on. YouTube, at best, is just a URL and a server room. Literally something that these studios can just buy themselves, and many have. The only people that really need YouTube are independent content creators like me. And yet YouTube is insistent on throwing us to the wind. And unfortunately, this is going to throw people even more toward Rumble. Rumble is run by content creators who listen to content creators. YouTube's current behavior is something that I can only describe as being college grade stupid. And for those of you not familiar with it, allow me to give you a bit of an anecdote. One of my favorite authors, Robert Kiyosaki, was over in Thailand at one point, showing off a book that had become one of their best sellers. A young woman came up to him, a journalist, wanting to know and talk to him about this book, and had asked him, how do you become the best seller? And he simply looked at her and he said the best thing that she could do was to quit her job as a journalist and go get a job in sales. Well, the journalist didn't care for that very much. She threw a fit and screamed and hollered about how that was beneath her. She had all these college degrees, all these diplomas. The reason he told her to get a job in sales was so that she would gain the experience and training in selling things. Which is ironic because in one of the best lines that I could have ever read in a book, Robert Kiyosaki literally looks at her and says, "You didn't ask me how to be the best written author. You asked me how to be the best selling author." And that in there is what I call college grade stupid. Essentially, college grade stupid comes from being over the top by thinking that because you have a college degree, everyone else is beneath you, that everyone else is stupider than you, and that by this nature that you are some new form of aristocratic nobility simply because you have a piece of paper. And this is what we're seeing a lot recently in a number of companies, actually, from Hasbro trying to claim that their biggest competitors is General Mills and food companies. Right. Maybe try making better stuff and not sicking the Pinkertons on people, huh? But that is exactly what we're seeing from YouTube, is this college grade level of stupid. The ideology that these companies are greater and better than all these independents, and that surely the great companies are going to rescue them. But in their college grade stupidity, they're going to find out that their competitors, such as Rumble, which is a monetized site, which at this time, monetization is one of the only things keeping people from leaving YouTube, and that's spotty at best, where Rumble is monetizable, has far less rules, although it's slightly more difficult. If you have a large channel and you're moving to Rumble, and Rumble is even bringing people in from YouTube, they're actually paying people to go to make the switch in terms of larger accounts, maybe don't continue to piss everyone off. Don't continue to shove content creators away from your platform. Take the time to rationalize and think that, no, these people aren't below you. That the content they make for you is voluntary. And that at any time they can delete their content off your platform, they can go move to somewhere else, they can do whatever the heck they want. They're free agents to do as they please. So you have to convince them that it's worth their time to be there. YouTube at current does not convince content creators that it's worth our time to be here. Rumble, on the other hand, is trying to convince us it's worth their time to be here. So it's breaking down to the point where people have a habit of, they don't usually stay where they're not wanted. And if YouTube continues to Netflix itself, Rumble is just going to eat their lunch. And it's going to continue to be that way. And by the way, YouTube, if you take this down, I want you to remember this is going to be mirrored on Rumble. So if you, by the way, if you're actually watching this on Rumble, don't forget to leave me a little follow, will you? Which, by the way, the videos I showed you with Rumble, I have 6 followers on Rumble. 6. I have 2,750 some subscribers on YouTube. Riddle me this one, and you wonder why I think YouTube is an idiot. And yes, that's why I have it puppeted by the orange and black Boglin, the devil Boglin over here. As I knock everything from my top shelf. This is what I used to represent YouTube. For good reason. Meow. Oh, I'm sorry, Beba. Rumble does have some downsides. I will agree to that. It's smaller. It's not as monetized as YouTube, but it is growing. And it continues to be a threat. In fact, if anything, I'm possibly thinking of investing money in Rumble while it's still cheap. At only $9.50 a share, might as well. Especially considering that it seems that YouTube is just absolutely determined to, well, shoot itself in the foot. Repeatedly. Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And if you're on Rumble, don't forget to do the same. And follow me there. Take care, everyone.